Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 5 of season 2 of House of the Dragon. In the last episode, the dragons have officially entered the war, and let's just say it is not a pretty sight. There's losses on both sides. Both sides have lost a dragon and their rider. So I don't know, man. It's going to be really interesting to see where things go from here and how things continue to escalate as this war just rages ever out of control. So with that all said, let's just go ahead and hop in and see what happens next. If you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or forget Meryl's channel gives you access as well. It is a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up with the time codes for actually the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote what movies we react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage to try to make it worth your while, so you are going out of your way to support the channel. But guys, at the end of the day, I really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. To at least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Huge shout out to the team over at Prepper for helping me edit down these highlights for you guys here on YouTube. And with that all said and out of the way, let's get ready to jump into episode 5. Here we go. His reaction to this news is definitely one I was really looking forward to seeing. I really want to see how he handles this, especially considering he was trying to avoid making any of these heavy decisions or taking any of these decisions lightly.
Behold, the traitor dragon Maylis!
Oh,
slain at Brook's Rest by your king!
Wow. Poor thing, man.
Don't they realize we won the battle? Strange victory.
Yeah, they're not thrilled. No, they are not seemingly happy about this.
Behold, the traitor dragon Maylis!
I thought the dragons was gods. It's just meat.
It's just meat. God, man, there's people still hanging out there. God, man, it's been weeks. How long are they gonna leave them up? Yeah, what's in the box? Or who's in the box? Were they sneaking Aegon's body in? Or is that Rhaenys' body? Considering they were escorting Maylis all throughout the city. Okay, I'm gonna presume it's Aegon. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was Viserys' sword there, which is insane. And I had that spoiled in the comments because people seemingly thought they were correcting my understanding of the episode when all they did was spoil things. God, it's so frustrating. Good God, though, his armor's melted to his flesh. Got fucking Anakin'd. So, I do want to just say, I haven't read the book, so if it's not in the episode, you're not correcting anything. That's just straight up spoiling. If the reveal hasn't happened yet, it hasn't happened yet, so.
Is my son going to die?
I'm afraid I cannot say. Now, if you'll excuse me, Your Grace, these next hours are most critical.
Otherwise, we mean, get the fuck out of here. We gotta do our work. Hey, buddy.
Someone will have to rule in his stead.
And who are we gonna suggest here, huh?
What happened?
We took the castle at the cost of some 900 men.
The king.
His Grace fought valiantly.
He did take a little bit of friendly fire, though.
And Aemon? What was his part in this?
I could not say.
Well, we know that's bullshit.
Kristen Cole marches about the Crown lands unchallenged. We still have no ground army but the one we hope that Daemon will raise after some marital spat.
Oh my God. This guy.
There has been peace in our lifetime. You've seen no more battles than I have.
She got him there.
If Cole pursues his campaign, our allies must be
We
ready.
must answer Rook's Rest and Duskendale.
They are lost already, but Vhagar is depleted after such a hard-fought battle.
Vhagar's on cooldown right now.
If we can strike King's Landing before their dragon is recovered...
Then I myself must do it.
My queen, you are the crown. It is out of the question.
What would you have me do?
They're in a really tough spot right now. I mean, they have been this entire season so far, though.
Jace, where are you going?
To Harriman Hall.
Oh.
Whilst I'm here being forced to play the coddled princeling, it's humiliating,
She
Bela.
only protects you.
Then I must be seen to act for her claim and mine.
I mean, I get it, but it's just another sketchy move. I don't know, they're just getting antsy. He just wants to be a part of this so bad.
The hour is late, and my dragon is hungry. You have no choice but to submit. Bend the knee to me.
I would sooner be the lord of bones and cinders than bend my knee before some heathen Blackwood. We choose fire.
Damn.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
They are pig-headed, intransigent.
They would rather burn than succumb. Exactly the kind of men I need.
Makes a point.
May yet be possible, I think, for both of us to achieve our ends.
We have fought them for an age and more.
Then perhaps you could try less fighting and more persuading.
They are unyielding in battle, but every man has a weakness.
There are things the crown itself must not be seen to do. Show them your worst.
I am your servant, your grace.
I am Rhaenyra's CIA. I need proxies to carry out my nasty deeds.
You are your father's chosen successor.
He did not prepare me to fight. If I had been a son, a sword thrust into my hand the moment I could walk. Instead, I was given my father's cup, taught the name of every lord and castle between Storm's End and the Twins.
Do not underestimate your subjects. They are 1,000 living in the shadow of the Red Keep and forgotten for too long.
And you think they will turn to me?
To the discontented, rumors are feed.
We'll
Your
see
Grace.
see how we can use that.
What you cannot do, let others do for you. There is more than one way to fight a war.
She's gonna prove her worth.
Daemon. You were always the strong one, the finest swordsman, the fearless dragon rider. Your brother had great love in his heart, but he lacked your constitution. Viserys was unsuited for the crown. Daemon, you were made to wear it. If only you'd been born first, my favorite son.
Is the duck not to your liking? There's also goose, if you prefer.
Wow.
How does the work here progress?
We're drawing water for the kitchens and lighting the forges.
Very well.
That is merely the beginning, of course. The roof alone has needed tending since the reign of Aenys, and the storerooms and the whaling tower. The bats have made the corridors almost impassable with the quantity of their
shit.
Rather thought your grace as emissary to the queen. Perhaps she could provide the necessary coin if you could only write to her.
No. Paranor is my command. I shall guarantee the payment myself.
He doesn't want to be beholden to her. She doesn't want to be beholden to him.
Very well, your grace.
What a great little position we're in right now.
You should address me as my king.
Oh my god.
But you're the prince.
What would you call the husband of the queen?
Well, the king.
There it is then.
Consul.
That last bit seems unnecessary, don't you think?
I kind of agree.
Armor was Valyrian steel,
But he keeps moving the goalpost.
But now we must name a regent to take his place until he recovers.
Did you have a candidate in mind, Your Grace?
I myself served in this role for my husband. I am well prepared to do it again.
You played your part admirably in a time of peace, Your Grace, but circumstances have changed. The king does not lack for heirs.
God, the condescension, man.
Is his immediate successor, Prince Aemon. Agreed.
Aemon is young, and his lack of restraint has already cost us dearly.
It is
No.
experience.
No.
Daemon is a fearsome dragon rider. His skill is best employed in the field, but my experience is needed here, at this table.
No offense was meant, Your Grace, but at a time when we must show strength.
As long as nobody put Cole's name in the hat.
But the hand speaks with the king's voice, Sir Kristen. What say you?
Daemon is the next in line. It must be him.
Damn.
What is our standing in the Riverlands?
Prince Daemon has little hope of fielding an army of any size for now. We would do well to send word to Yarmos Vitali.
She is not happy. One, I think she obviously doesn't like the fact that she's being undermined. A lot of rash decisions have already been made, and we know the kids are a little hot-blooded. No, and two, I think she suspects that he may have had a hand in what happened to Aegon.
Have you been paid for those machines you were forced to build?
The king has promised payment.
The king has lied.
I wonder where this is going to go. We've seen him like a handful of times, and we've seen them here in their home like one other time, two other times up until this point. And oh, the poor doggy has been there the entire time. I wonder how they piece in, or they're just like a way to glimpse the weakness that the crown has over the small folk here.
Has your loyalty faded, or does it flourish only at night and flee the sunrise like a moth?
God damn.
What I saw at Rook's Rest.
What? What did you see?
Their armor melted. There were men walking, they were on fire.
We have given the war to the dragons.
The dragon rider should lead us.
They really sapped the wind out of his sails.
Will you preside over it? Is this who you are, Alison?
I did not ask to be spared. I did not give you leave to speak my name.
Damn, he's been significantly humbled by that event. Oh, and there they go, fleeing. But they're gonna get trapped in. Oh, what a shot.
Our fear lies in Vhagar.
You fear a dragon, leagues away, when mine own sits outside your walls.
Do you offer us your protection?
I do.
Damn, that's bold.
What do you want?
Larys Strong has been relieved of his castle. Does the Queen intend to raise up a new lord?
Do they want it?
My mother will want more than your crossing.
What does her grace desire?
Bent knees.
Daemon's not gonna like that. But I don't think anything Rhaenyra wants Daemon's going to be too thrilled with right now, regardless. Hey, look, they're trying to fix it up. God, this is so fucked. You can never know if it's actually happening or if it's in his head. He was dream fucking his mom earlier.
I hear strange things from Brackenland, from Stonehenge and Lambswold and Moray.
There's news then.
News? No. What I hear in the wind. Cries of anguish. Children being taken from their mothers, men coming home to find their doors unlatched, their wives carried away.
War is a terrible thing.
This is not war. These are crimes against the innocent.
The Brackens had their chance to do as I required. They will perhaps think better of their decision if their children's lives are staked on it.
Wow.
And once again, in the name of power, it's the weak and the women who must endure.
That fool Aegon is unlike to survive. The realm will suffer if Daemon One Eye rules. You should pray you never meet him. He will cut you down soon as wish you good day.
I'd heard the same thing about you. But I'll cross you no further. I'm sure your tactics are, after all, approved by the Queen.
Oof.
She cannot succeed, Alice, even if I willed it to be so. The people who support her will not be led by her. When I take King's Landing, Rhaenyra is welcome to join me there and take her place by my side.
And if you lose?
Then I'll be dead, and none of this will be my problem.
It's a pity, don't you think, that you never knew your mother?
Oh.
A message, Your Grace.
Huh.
Fresh news from Stonehenge. The Blackwoods have overwhelmed the Brackens, and Lord Amos has pledged his banner to you. House Bracken is yours.
And there it is.
The wealth you brought back from Yi Ti and Ashai, inspiring awe and envy. I wonder if any of them knew it was all for her.
Aww.
Queen Rhaenyra wishes to name you Hand.
Even the death of my wife does not content her, and she not asked enough of my house.
It is a sign of her great esteem.
Or does she think the position will compensate me for my loss?
Pledge your peace to King's Landing then. They will accept it most gleefully.
Rather, I would sail into the west and be lost.
You have done so before, at great cost to yourself and those who loved you. Rhaenys was not only your wife, not a thing to be taken from you. She was a Targaryen princess, the queen who never was, and she flew to Rook's of her own will in defense of her kin.
And she died.
She died as she would have wished to die, with honor, in Dragonfire, the way my mother chose. And the way I myself wish to meet my end. I grieve my grandmother who loved me, but I carry her on with me. I will see Rhaenyra ascend the Iron Throne, as Rhaenys wished, as Rhaenys herself should have. You yourself may do as you see fit.
Granddaughter, I would make you my heir.
Aww.
I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea.
I wish you to go to Harrenhal.
Are you removing me from your council?
I will not deny you have tried my patience of late. Not send a message by Raven for Daemon to disregard. I ask you to reason with him, find out his state of mind and his intentions.
Well, this will be interesting.
Whether he means to raise a host for me or for himself.
He would not dare.
Oh, yeah, he would.
Have you any message for him?
Tell him I would much like to finish our last conversation.
Interesting.
Your Grace. The River Lords have come, Your Grace. They wish an audience.
All right.
Is there some reason you feel free to wake a king in his bed?
The sacred septs on Bracken lands were looted and burned.
As were the fields and farms.
Oh.
And our peasants put to the sword.
They pursued the women and the children.
Wow.
We should have expected nothing more from a man who ordered the slaughter of a child in his mother's arms.
Oh.
That is a lie, and I will have the man who told it brought before me.
Oh, your man is half the kingdom.
We shall not raise our banners for a tyrant.
Damn. Oh. He unleashed the wolves and they ravaged them in a way that he was like, hey, I'll get them with fear or hostages or whatever, but it doesn't, it gets not what he wanted out of it. And I like that cut between him there, hand up to her. It was a nice little edit. Yeah, he thinks he's got such a handle on all of this, but he really, he doesn't. He doesn't have a handle on himself right now. Not in this place. Aemond, the one-eyed angel. Damn.
Was it worth the price?
Oh, she knows. Yeah, I do kind of feel bad for him, man.
What is the mood at the Twins?
He wishes for the phrase to be granted Harrenhal.
I'm proud of you, Jace. You've done our cause a great service.
Then why do you look angry?
Sending others to fight and be felled in my name. Even you've managed to do your part.
You are the queen, the tie that binds us. No harm can come to
And
you.
you are my son, and I did not give you leave to go.
Yeah.
You do not give me leave to go to anything.
But who else is there? Rhaenys is dead and Baelor cannot bear the burden alone.
Your dragon is young. Will you fly before Vhagar as Luke did?
Oof.
Vhagar is big, but Syrax is quicker.
So was Meleys.
Meleys fought 2 dragons and one of them is slain. Shall I fight for my birthright, or shall I wait here until we are all
It was a
destroyed?
2v1. Well, honestly, it was kind of a free-for-all.
We have two large enough to stand against Vhagar. They are called Vermithor and Silverwing, and they sleep just beneath our feet.
Yes, and if only they had riders, none could stand against me. I would go forth in strength and not from necessity.
There is Rhaena,
who nearly lost her life in her last attempt. I would not risk it again.
There are those of our line who never ruled, children born with other names.
A generation ago or more, the blood would be thin.
And yet,
the dragon will only accept a dragon lord to ride it.
Oh, is that where these guys are going to come into play? I mean, that's assuming the one dude who was talking about him having dragon blood.
There are records here, surely, of our line, and of those who fell out of it.
There could be scores of them.
It's a mad thought.
Let's go. It's mad, but it just might work. So maybe, I guess that's what they were setting up. Like that one guy who was talking about, you know, bragging about having the blood of the dragon or whatever at that tavern. But then once Aegon actually showed up, you know, he immediately stopped talking, you know. So I'm like, I mean, he could have been lying, but he also could very well be true. It's okay, we need dragon riders. The ones we've tried so far, I don't really want to risk it again. Things didn't go that well. I can't afford to lose the people that I have by my side at the moment. But maybe people that are out there that still have the Targaryen seed or DNA in them. You know, they could be of a different house. They could be cousins, bastards, whatever, you know, extended family that may be able to tame a dragon. So they got enough dragons, they don't have enough riders. That's going to be an interesting thing to explore and see who ends up, one, siding with them, let alone seeding a dragon. Jace did succeed in going down and getting the allegiances of the Freys. Again, it's a lot of people acting of their own accord and in Rhaenyra's best interests, but much like with how things are at King's Landing, you know, very much so it's mirrored here with Rhaenyra, where a lot of the younger players and just people in general around them are all making their own moves out of the sight, out of the ears of, say, like Alicent and Rhaenyra. You know, while she's the queen here, and obviously the children are the ones kind of in charge up there, it's really these two mothers that have always been the pillars of this story. And she's trying to hang on to control, Alicent is, especially as her children make these rash decisions. You know, Aegon comes back in the condition he did. You know, she senses that Aemon probably had a hand in it, which he did. You know, he could have easily had taken a shot that didn't, you know, put him in the crossfire. Figured, hey, two birds, one stone, why not? Like that little scene with Helena who came in here as he was eyeing the throne. She was like, was it worth it? Because she knew, she could sense it too. And she's the one, you know, gifted with visions and foresight and other things too. So like, I'm wondering if she knew that was going to happen or if she can just see through the smoke and mirrors that are going on here. So that's really interesting as Alicent just loses more and more control over people, and meanwhile Rhaenyra is trying to hang on to it as much as she possibly can. You know, she steers this one guy, I can't remember his name, the guy at the table who's always giving her a hard time. Like, she finally leans into that and is like, hey, I can't trust Daemon. I know you give me shit all the time. I know you don't always like me all the time, but I trust you. Go find out what the hell he's doing. And then Jace did what he was doing because he was also tired on waiting to hear back from Daemon as well. And then every time we check back in on Daemon, like, he's just, his descent is just deepening. Like, he just keeps going further and slinking deeper and deeper into these shadows as this place is just preying upon his insecurities that up until this point have just been insurmountable. His visions, waking and sleeping, you know, him coddling his mother like he was, though it was revealed later when he was talking to Rivers about how he's like, you don't even know who your mother was. But then in that revelation, that was that connection that he was just like, oh, it's just this, oh, it's just fucking, it's wild. And then every time, like, he's trying to make these power grabs, he's trying to make these plays, but it may get an immediate response that is favorable, but is not the desired end response that I think that he was expecting. He was like, hey, I'm going to send these people that absolutely hate these other families. Let's try a different method. If they won't bend the knee honorably, let's try something else. Let's leverage them. So he sent these people out who absolutely hate this family, these people that have frayed with for centuries. So with this little leeway to go do out there, this little order or allowance to go do this little deed, they took it a couple of steps further, sullying their sacred land, slaying their livestock, slaying the peasants, kidnapping the families, which was what they were directed to do, to hold them as hostage and leverage to get their loyalty. And then they were like, hey, they came barging in. It's like, hey, well, we're here, but fuck you. Like, that is not what... It's just... And he just thinks like he's going to be the one sitting the throne. I don't know what's going to happen with Daemon, man. I really, really don't. But his story is so interesting, especially since he's gotten to Harrenhal. And it's just his faculties are just devolving. He's doing all this and he still hasn't sent any word back. So he's trying to incite a coup in the long run. He's like, no, you can call me king now. Like every time he just keeps moving that goalpost because it was your prince consort, grace, whatever. And now he says, just call me king. He's like, okay, king consort. And he's like, just king, and then he reveals at least that his end goal is, if he can get this army to himself, is that I still plan on taking King's Landing like I told her and getting the throne. It's just, I'm going to be the one sitting there. And she's free to join me. We can rule side by side, but it's not in the way that was willed upon the realm by Viserys or anything of this. This is all him just like, hey, I'm going to be king. But his attempt to swipe and grab at it every time, it keeps moving. It keeps slipping through his fingers. And then we have Corlys, who, after the loss of Rhaenys, is still very listless. He's just completely distraught. And he was already struggling with a lot of this weight, a lot of this urgency on these decisions that need to be made, this forethought, this planning, this prep. He's been avoiding a lot of these responsibilities, and I think a lot of that came from like his surviving. He's just kind of been floating for a while, and I think she was really trying hard to snap him out of that, and I think this made it even harder. But then this extension of the role of hand to him, and then this conversation with Baelor, I think, hopefully, has steered his sails in the proper direction and maybe at least given them some wind to finally move and make a choice. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of this episode, obviously, was dealing with the fallout of the last episode, the decisions that were made, and seeing how we recover from this, what are our next moves, how to wrestle with the consequences of that. Them parading that dragon through the town did not have the desired effect, because the small folk see the dragon as these gods, like they said, and seeing it paraded in that manner just seemed like an ill omen. They weren't happy about it. It didn't give them joy. It didn't incite praise upon the crown. It did exactly the opposite, much like the rat catcher thing. Every time they're trying to win over the people, they are absolutely failing at every step. They got a couple of steps forward when they did the thing with the child, but everything after that has just been 2 steps back. And now we have people trying to leave King's Landing, and they're starving, they're scared, they don't trust the crown, they don't know what's going on. When they heard, they were like, what happened to Aegon? When they were talking about this decree that came from Aemond, they're just confused and listless. And our little spy master, who has joined sides with Rhaenyra, is, helping leverage on that. She's like, there's more than one way to fight a war. These people do not see these things in this way, and we can use that. Whispers can go a long way. It was nice to see, at least, that Cole was really humbled by what was going on. While he's seen regular combat, he has not seen combat that involves dragons. I mean, he quite literally was playing with fire. He didn't know exactly what they were getting themselves into. He knew what Aemond could bring to the table. He knew what they could get out of Vhagar, once she hit the battlefield and stuff like that. But when it became a dragon v dragon, and especially when it became a dragon v dragon v dragon, there was like a sheer underestimation of the devastation that would be wrought on both sides. And it was like this massive wake-up call. Like, the more power he's gained, and the further this is drawn out, the bigger his head has gotten over the course of the show so far. But that, like, deflated it. He was completely just, I'm just trying to keep you out of this. I don't want you anywhere near that. That was fucked. Like, that completely destroyed, I think, a lot of his confidence, it seemed like. So I'm curious. Cole redemption arc? Maybe. While Aegon is still alive, he is completely incapacitated. I don't know if he recovers. I don't know where that's going to go. And what's going to happen if he does? Will he go right back to ruling, or is Aemon going to try to bring a pillow into his chambers and just keep him down? I don't know. But guys, what'd you think? How do you feel? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you're a channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends. Manny Sherritt, York, Scott Melito, Robert Ongionu, Jeffrey L, Jake Contrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, and Russell Crockett. Thank you guys so much for continued support. But that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.